your Facebook page to stalk you, because like before you interview someone, you want to go and stalk them, you know?
Sounds
And I
like
found
an employer.
yes, like an employer, you know, yeah, yeah. Then I
Oh,
found
I
something
see.
really, yeah, then I found something really interesting. It's a quote post that you made on the 3rd of November. Let me read it out. You
Yeah.
said grade 12 mock exams. You put, what are those emojis?
You're the one with
The
the.
heartbreak. Yes. The head teacher chased me and handed me a slip that read, "This is the fourth appeal for you to pay for your child." He was very upset and told us that even the papers you are writing on are from the money your friends paid. I didn't leave. I waited for him outside and begged, "Sir, this is the only opportunity to know if I'm ready for the final exams. Please allow me to write. My mother will pay. She's still looking for the money, but business is slow." He looked at me and said, "Go back in class and write." I honestly didn't know if mom would manage to clear my grade 11 and grade 12 fees, but the promise gave me an opportunity to write. For some reason, my grandfather, may his soul continue to rest in peace, kept that slip, and then when I was accepted to study at the Copperbelt University, I used it as a supporting document for my BC application, and I was awarded 100% loan. And as I promised the social welfare office that I have been given the BC, I will better the community. Limitless Foundation was established. Now, I am a master's scholar at a prestigious university.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Do
yes.
you edit out the crying as well? So I know. I
Uh,
need my tissue. Yeah.
yeah, after I read this post, I stopped scrolling because I felt like I'm done here. My research my research is done, but I could go through the emotions of, like, I could see the emotions of everything that you're saying, from that time to who you have become as a person. So my first question is, how have you evolved to even keeping the going to the Copperbelt University something, and keeping it and becoming this person that you have become now? Like, what has been the process? Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good question. So first and foremost, I'd actually love to thank you for having me here. I don't do interviews. I haven't done a lot of interviews, at least in the longest time. But I've been here. I was like, yo, let's do this. Yeah. The transitioning. I'll tell you one thing that my brother said when I was leaving for school, the school where I'm at
Mm,
right now.
mhm,
Francis
mhm.
said, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just transitions from one form to the next. He gave an example to say he doesn't have any scars. Well, I have a number of them
Okay.
because from childhood I've been like extremely active. I've had the energy. The only thing that I didn't have was the know-how of taking it into something positive. So my brother said, when you look at Njavwa, she's got scars. There are scars that I can't even show. I have burns. I've got, think of it, I have them. I've been active as a kid. I've had the energy. But then the only thing that has changed now is the where it's been focused on. So from grade 12, if we don't pick it from when I was a kid, I have had the energy and the zeal to want to be better and to be different. Recently, I put up a post to say, being the same is what scares me. It's being different doesn't at all. Fitting in, you and I were joking about this skirt, and I don't want to fit in. I want to stand out. So from that day, everyone else was chased together with me because we all didn't pay. That was the same. But what was different is that I stayed. And I decided to say, can I just like have this one moment to write and also just compare myself where I'm going? So I have had it in me. The only thing that has changed is how I'm channeling that energy into something positive. So being able to be different at grade 12 from being chased, that was supposed to be a moment to give up on school or be happy that I will not be writing exams. It should be something nice. We're all looking forward to when a class is cancelled, right? But then that moment, I decided to be different. I stayed and it gave me a passport to write. I'm just here thinking, if I didn't decide to be different, I don't know if I would have managed to get my BSc and be where I am today when we look at it from the academic perspective. But then also everything that has been birthed happened when I gave myself a chance to be at the university and be true to myself and remain different, of course. Is what has birthed what I have today and birthed what people are able to see, being able to channel my energy into something very positive and something that can change the lives of many other people.
Okay, I want us to go back to the beginning. Tell us about yourself and your family.
Okay, amazing. So I am Njavwa. I always insist that people learn the Njavwa. I am Njavwa Teresa Bwalya, a sister to my siblings, a daughter to my mom, a loving friend. Yes, a loving friend to my friends, and an amazing partner to my partner. I'm also a minister in the church. I am a worshiper. I love God. So above everything else, if you forget how to define me, just say child of God. I think that will suffice a lot of things. So that is who I am. And I have a hashtag, I'm a limitless child. So that could be it. And would end there as a definition of who I am. But if we are to add other things that I've done apart from who I am as a person, I am a holder of a BSc from the Copperbelt University. I studied a BSc in wood science and technology. Everyone asks, what is that? Yeah, the major in environmental management. Then I went on to work for a women's rights organization under environment, and later on became the women's rights lead. And then now I'm pursuing a master's in environmental science with a major in environmental policy planning. So, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. That's a very broad definition. I'll be taking you back to the Copperbelt University. In the story that I read from the beginning, you said when writing, when applying for your bursary, you made a promise to the social welfare, of which so many of us, who've been to the public universities, we make these promises to them, but it's really, I don't even remember what I wrote there. I don't even remember what was on my thesis, but you said you made a promise there and you kept it alive throughout university until after university. How did you do that?
The how may be difficulty, but then I feel I stayed true to who I am. The reason why I said I always insist that you call me Njawva, it's because that every time you say Njawva, you are asking for help. Njawva means help in my mother's tongue. Yes. So I stayed true to myself. That's integrity. Integrity is really doing what you are supposed to do, even when there's no one checking up on you. So I stayed true to who I was because that promise was attached to my being. So I helped people in university for the mere fact that that is who I am. And maybe that's the reason why I don't conform to the standard of people saying, do not help people that are ungrateful, people will take advantage of you, treat people how they treat you. I can't do that. That is not who I am. So I stayed true to my identity, and that helped me keep the promise that I made in that paper.
Okay, so I know you were the best graduating student in your class. How did you manage to do that? You know, knowing very well, me who's privileged, that you had like so many things to do in the university, but you were able. But you were able to achieve that. How did you manage to do that?
Okay, a good question. I grew up believing I was average, even when my grandmother insisted I was intelligent. So throughout, from maybe let's say first grade to 12th grade, I just didn't want to fail. So I didn't compete for the first position. I just didn't want to be amongst the ones that don't progress to the next level. So when I came to CBU, I met an amazing man, Mr. Kelvin Dulovo. I call him Dad. He told me we were limitless. I think that was a birth of everything. But I think that conversation started a little bit late for my first year. So we were already in the C's. And the C pluses. But then he said something that was very interesting. He said, school is supposed to be fun. School is supposed to be fun. And every time you don't do so well in school, just be kind to yourself and say, oh, I didn't understand this. I need to go back. So getting those two things, school should be fun. And if I fail, it's not me. It's that I didn't just understand. I need to go back on that maybe course or something. It helped me dedicate at least 2 hours of studying. So it was non-negotiable. One thing was I need to understand in class. Once I have a good lecturer, I'm good to go. So I understand in class, then the 2 hours is my revision period. So I gave school the amount of time that I believed it needed. But then also I gave my other extracurriculars the time that they needed. For instance, I had fellowship. I joined the UCZ fellowship in first year, and immediately I became part of the leadership of the drama team. So I knew that I had a responsibility as a leader in the fellowship. I couldn't give an excuse. So I managed my time in such a way that all the things that I needed to do got the attention that they needed. So maybe to answer your question in a very short way, would be time management really helped. And that's where I developed planning of the day, planning a week, planning a month. At least I know that I've got these benchmarks that I need to hit in this part of my life. And that helped me so much.
You said something that felt very personal for me. You said from grade 1 to grade 12, you were just trying to not fail. You're not trying to be exceptional, you are trying to not fail. And even in first year, that's the same strategy that you're using. You are trying to not fail. In you saying that you are not trying to fail, would you say you were afraid of failure so much so that you are trying to just not fail?
I wouldn't put it as a fear, but it was one of the motivations that I had. Coming from a background where you don't sit for an exam once and clear it, you have to attempt grade 7 maybe 2 to 3 times to progress to 8th grade. I knew it was a setback. So I would always tell my grandmother that, Granny, if I don't fail, I'll complete my grade 12 at 17. So it wasn't from a place of fear, but it was from a place of delay. I didn't want to be delayed because I felt I had a responsibility to complete my my education as earlier as I could and bring a difference in my home and also in the community. So it wasn't really from a place of fear, but then from a place of not wanting to be delayed. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What would you say, from obviously university is probably the reason why people fail, because some people come, especially in universities, when we're talking about Copperbelt, CBU, people come from some of the best universities and they have some of the best grades. And then when they come to the university, some people just fail to, like, some people fail, like first year they fail, they will go on exclude. Some people maybe second year, and some people struggle from first year until final year. What do you think could be some of the reasons why?
Okay. One of the reasons that I feel people fail, the first one could be fear. The place is very intimidating. So the moment you enter CBU, everyone will tell you how your 6 points should be left at the gate. So from the get-go, you are told school is hard. There's no there isn't any room for negotiations. Everyone tells you school is hard. So the fear, the moment you actually just get the acceptance letter, you go to the Facebook page as a first year, your code names, Fresh Hour, Impemfo, those are some of the few that I can remember on top of my head. So fear is instituted in you from the get-go. The other thing, people lose direction. We cannot take away that fact. There are people that came brilliant from home, probably because they were scared of mom and dad. But now there's no curfew, there's no mom, there's no anyone telling them you have to study. You are an adult. Everyone expects you to make decisions on your own. So you lose direction. Of course, if you prioritize other things apart from school, knowing fully that the reason you're at that university is school, you will fail. I'll give an example. I love trying out things. So I found basketball very interesting. In third year, I went for the tryouts and I was shortlisted and I joined the team. I played, I never played any final games, but during the rehearsing phase, the training phase, I figured that I was getting too tired. I loved the game. We can't take away the fact. I love the game. I enjoyed the game. I trained with everything on the inside, but I had to come to terms with the fact that it was going to affect my school. So I quit. The coach came and some of the players and the captain, they came to tell me, you can't stop here. You have potential. I had the potential, but if it meant failing in school, I wasn't going to play for the Copperbelt University basketball team. So I had to make that decision. And that's what a lot of people fail to make. Friends, you find a company of friends that drag you down a road that you know that this is definitely sending you home, but you still stay on course. You're still trying to be loyal to that friendship. So I feel people fail, fear and losing direction. Those would be like my top two if I was to pick.
Okay. So, apart from you saying that you learned time management, which was something that really helped you, what else do you think helped you to have those outstanding results that you had at graduation?
I had the best people. I had the best studying buddies. I can mention the names because they are good people. I had Lika, I had last one, then I had Brighton. We became close in second year. Actually, Brighton and myself got the award in second year as best students, and we're coming from the same study group. So I had the best people. These were very serious. It's like everyone understood why they were in school. So we structured our studying in such a way that everyone needed to understand. We're the benchmark. You'd call it crazy, but you couldn't score less than 75% in any test. That was a group rule. You fall, we need to know why, because we've provided you with our research. We had last one we used to call him the search engine. He's now doing school in China. We used to call him the search engine. Whatever we learn in class, he will bring more than what we learned in class. And when you are assigned to do something, you make sure it gets done. So I had the best team on my side when it comes to academics, but then also I had a great support system away from academics. I built a community. I had children. I had friends who are now my sisters. Of course, yeah. I had a very good support system. So that helped me. My brother joined me in uni when I was in second year. He became like one of the best support systems that I had. So I would say having a social life and having friends away from class, like people that you can depend on to understand better a certain topic, that helped me. So time management, quite right. And I'm glad that you brought this out because those are people that went in my thesis. A number of them are there. So having a good support system and a beautiful social life, and of course a spiritual life with the CBUCZ. You know, where school is hard for everyone, but you go to a place where someone tells you, you know, you are more than a conqueror, you know, you can do this. I'm just like, yes, let's go back again. So those are some of the things that really, really helped me get amazing results throughout from second year all the way to the graduation.
Yeah, I'm glad you've actually brought up, your spiritual life, because there's a trend sometimes in the university where people say people of God, children of God are the ones who usually fail. What is your comment on that? What do you think causes that? Because the reality is that sometimes children of God do actually fail. So that's the reason why people say that, because it is actually a reality.
Yeah. Matthew 5:13. You are the light of the world. The city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Everyone fails in CBU, but because you are set on a hill, you cannot be hidden. So if Njavwa fails, everyone will know about it. You are set on a hill. You are the light. So everyone gets to know. Everyone fails, both believers and unbelievers. But then what that tells you is that you are not supposed to fail as a child of God. Because you are set on a hill, you are supposed to give light. What is salt, when it loses its saltiness, it's worthless. Men who trample on it. So where everyone can be exempted for failing, you cannot be exempted because you're a child of God. So my comment would be, don't fail as a child of God. And that was one of the prayer points I would have when I'm talking to God. I'm like, mwele sanga twapo na tulese bana, you and me. Because your name is attached to who I am. They call me Njavwa, the child of God. So if I fail, it's not just me going down. So for your sake, for your name's sake, can we please pass these exams? So yeah, I feel everyone does fail, and it's okay. People fail. It's normal. It's remaining at failure that really rips you off of who you really are. People fall, but then we need to still get back. But then what that simply means is that you are on a hill. When you fall, everyone will see that you fall.